Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about something that could totally change the game for AI. It's a new protocol with a pretty ambitious name, the Model Context Protocol. And the big question is, could this be the next HTTP, but for AI? But to really get what's going on, we need to take a quick step back. Think about the internet you use every single day. Behind every website, every email, there are these invisible rules of the road. Protocols like HTTP. They're the hidden engines that make it all just work. I mean, really, what these protocols are is just a shared language. It's how your phone can talk to a server on the other side of the world without a single hiccup. And this stuff wasn't built overnight, right? It was set up decades ago, creating this bedrock standard that lets the internet be as massive and complex as it is today. It's kind of like magic we totally take for granted.
Okay, so now let's pivot to the world of AI right now. When you try to connect a large language model, an LLM, to, well, anything else, it's chaos. Seriously, it's the Wild West out there. There's no standard way for an AI to pull info from your company's database or use some other online tool.
And this chaos, it's a huge mess. Developers are stuck building these fragile one-off connections for every single little thing. One person builds a custom function, another spins up a whole web server. It's just this tangled mess of custom code that you can't reuse or scale. We desperately need to go from this free-for-all to some kind of order.
So how do we clean up this mess? Well, the AI company Anthropic thinks they have an answer. They've put forward this idea called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short, and its whole purpose is to be that universal standard for how AIs talk to tools.
At its heart, MCP is actually pretty simple. It's just supposed to be a common language for an LLM to talk to any tool out there. The best way to think about it is like OpenAPI for web APIs. It doesn't care how you built your tool, it just cares that you describe it in a standard way so that any LLM can figure out how to use it.
The protocol basically breaks down into two key parts. First, you've got the client. That's the app you're actually using, maybe a chatbot on your desktop. Then you have the server. That's the thing that's actually providing the tools the LLM can use. It's a simple relationship. The client asks for something, and the server provides. Now, here's where MCP gets really clever. It's not this rigid all-or-nothing system. Instead, it gives you 3 different ways to jump in, 3 levels of integration, so it works for pretty much anyone, from people who don't code at all to the most hardcore developers.
So you can start at level 1 with 0 code just by using the official stuff. Or you can dip your toes in with some code to build a custom server that adds new tricks. Or, if you want it all, you can go to level 3 and build everything from the ground up for total control.
Let's make this feel real. So, level 1, the no-code option. Imagine you want to connect Anthropic's chatbot Claude to a huge database you have sitting on your computer. With MCP, you could do that just by tweaking a simple text file, no programming. And just like that, your chatbot can search massive amounts of your own data. Okay, level 2. This is where you start to write a little bit of code. Let's say you want your LLM to manage your GitHub projects for you. Well, you could write a simple server in Python that gives the AI new superpowers, like creating and listing all your GitHub issues, just by asking it in the chat.
And then there's level 3. This is where you get total freedom.
See, the problem with the first 2 levels is you might be stuck using just one company's LLM, like Claude. But at this level, you can build your own client. That means you can use any LLM you want, ChatGPT, Gemini, an open source model, whatever, and connect it to any MCP server. It's more work for sure, but it means you're not locked into one vendor. So MCP sounds amazing, right? It's flexible, it's powerful, it seems like exactly what the AI world has been waiting for. But what's the reality? Let's do a quick reality check on how many people are actually using this thing today.
So what's adoption actually look like? Well, as of early 2025, there are around 700 or so MCP servers out there, which is a start. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. The major players, OpenAI and Google, they don't support it in their clients yet. And that's a massive roadblock for any protocol that wants to be the universal standard.
And this slow adoption kind of makes sense when you realize just how new MCP is. It's still in its infancy. There are some pretty big gaps. Things like authentication, a simple way to debug when things go wrong,
a clear way to share tools. These are all problems that have to get solved before it can really take off.
But even with all these gaps, the idea of MCP is so powerful that it's getting compared to one of the most important technologies ever created. So let's zoom out and look at the big picture here.
The author of the post we're drawing from really nails it with this quote. He says that using MCP today feels like you've time traveled back to 1990 and you're reading one of the first design documents for HTTP. It was clunky, it was hard to use, it was missing a ton of features we couldn't live without today, but the core potential was there, and it ended up becoming the backbone of the entire web.
And really, that leaves us with the biggest question of all. Is MCP itself going to be the thing? Is it going to overcome these early issues and become the HTTP for the AI age? Or is it going to be more like Mesos, the tech that pioneered a huge idea but was eventually replaced by Kubernetes, the standard that it inspired? We don't know yet, but either way, this is one of the most important things to be watching in AI right now.